Hello.
Hello, Mel. Hello, Lane.
Hiya. Hi, Ian. You just jumped in there at the
Hello,
last
Ian.
second.
Welcome.
Hi,
How you
Jeff.
doing?
Hi,
Hello.
Mal.
Hello. How are you doing?
This is Sarah, the wife.
Hi.
Yeah. Hi,
Hello.
Sarah.
Meet you.
I remember you from Mexicali show. Hiya.
Hi.
You all right?
Good, thanks. Hey, good to see you guys. Thanks ever so much for inviting us on your show.
We weren't
you're-
sure if you were going to turn up there. We're just talking and we thought, well, it looks like it's just going to be me and you, Jeff. But yeah, you are. All the better.
Good.
Nice. Welcome. Well, we'll go ahead and start off, and we'll visit with the chat and say hello to everybody, and then we'll go ahead and get started.
Should we not just introduce everyone to
Yeah, let's do-
Ian,
Yes,
just
let's
in
do that.
case? Do you want to how you link up while Ian introduces himself?
Oh, yes, please. If somebody could, we have a mod out there that could put Ian's link up, that would be great. Let me see if I have.
I shall try and do it where you and Ian have a bit chat, and I'll try and get his link up.
Oh, thanks, Mel. I appreciate that. It's kind of hard to do it on this iPad through here. We're going to start out at the top of the chat. We have Arnold from King's Aquariums in that world. Hey, Arnold, welcome. Then we have Vince, Twisted Coys. Hey, Vince, how you doing, brother? Welcome. He may be joining us later, I hope. We have Gord from Red Laser. How you doing, Gordon? Welcome. Good to see you, my friend. Koi Karma. Hello, mate. We have Tommy from Silver Creek Aquatics. Hello, Tommy. Welcome, my friend. And let's see here. Get down. We have My Fish Tank Aquatics. Hey, Johnny. How you doing, sir? Thank you for being here. Hello, Mark. Hey, we're talking about plants today, Mark. If you'd like, I can send you the link. You can let me know in the chat if you like that. Because you have some really great plants at your place, and if you'd like to stop up, just let me know in the chat, and I'll make it happen.
I've done your link for you, Ian.
Thanks, Mal.
For your
Thanks
channel.
so much. I appreciate that, Mal.
Takes some doing with me. I'm not very good at technology, mate, so it takes some doing things like that.
Oh, I know.
I've got an outdated iPad there that I only can just see the chat on. That's it.
Mal, I'm still using Windows 95.
Oh yeah. I wish we could go back to Windows 95 because now with all these tiles and things like that on the computer, the wife handed us a computer the other day and she says, "They just go on and do it." I was like, "Eh? I won't do that. Gives me iPhone."
We've only just stopped using the Betamax now.
Betamax. Did you have them?
Wasn't that after the floppy disk?
Betamax.
Well,
I'm back to the time of the floppy disk, so. We have Lando in the chat. Hello, Lando. And let's see here. The chat just jumped on me, a big deal. Adam McReynolds. Hello, Mark Steelson. Good day, mate. From Australia. Welcome, sir. We got Jimmy's Tanks. Is this Jimmy P? Is it Jimmy P? Could be. Hello, Jimmy's Tanks. Welcome. I know he changed to Hyatt Desert Aqua and then something different last week, but I'm not sure. Could be. Welcome, nonetheless. Welcome to the channel. And I think we're caught up on the chat now, guys. Here we are. All right. So we're going to be talking about plants today. It's kind of interesting. Me and Mel both had situations to do with our tanks.
I did a little bit.
You did, and I had.
It's clearing up a bit now, though.
Oh, it's looking great. It's
Mine's,
looking good.
2 water changes, probably about 90% the first time, then 100% the second time. It was just because, obviously, that part there had exposed all the soil underneath, and I had all the compost and everything squirted all over the place. So to try and get rid of all them nutrients that would have been in the water column, I tried to do 2 massive water changes, cap it back over, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I don't have an algae bloom of all the extra nutrients.
Mal, how much sand did you put in there?
There's about 2 inches on top of the soil.
Yeah.
About that.
Is that
But,
the pretty much a standard, isn't it? 2 inch stand over
Yeah.
the top of the...
I think so, but it's one of them things. I mean, I was watching Father Fish last night on his channel, and he started on a new thing now where he's telling you that you got to plant your plants in the sand base, not through to the. Oh, all right.
Yeah, he did
Another
that.
thing.
I seen that too.
Another thing we've got to learn.
Well, that's
You know,
that's
it's
sort.
interesting.
Sorry, go on, Ian.
Okay. I tend to put about 3 inches of sand.
Yeah,
When I put my plants in, I put it in the sand, not straight
Yeah.
in the substrate. So as they go in the sand, the roots will find their way into the substrate.
yeah. Well, that's what I've normally do, but I've never worried if I've went too far. But Father Fish last night was making on that if you go too far, the nutrients in the substrate will burn the roots. And I thought, well, I've never heard of that before, like, but another thing, another thing we've got to watch out for.
Well, you know, that it's funny you say that because all the videos I've seen from Father Fish is he said to plant them straight down into the dirt before, and now he's changing his story. I mean, what are we supposed to believe?
I think
He
you know
told-
what? I think
He
if
told
you-
one thing for 10 years, and then all of a sudden, now he's changing it. I mean, did he have a lot of problems over that 10 years? Because all I've seen is a lot of success in his tanks.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'd be happy. I'd be happy if my tank lasted 10 years. So
yeah, I'm not getting down on Father Fish because I really like him and he does a lot of great stuff. But you know, he's kind of like going back on what he was telling us all these years. Which I mean, for me, I'm just in the process of getting around to starting my first Wallstead tank, dirted tank, and so I was going to just take his first advice from the videos I've been watching in the past, get it all set up the way you do. You get a nice mud down there, not too wet, not too dry. Cover it with a nice cap of sand, maybe 2 to 3 inches of sand, and then start doing the planting. And I was going to plant it deep down so it gets the nutrients from the soil. And now he's telling us not to do that. So, I guess a big part of this show tonight, I want to get people on here that get everybody's perspective of it.
Yeah.
What you would do with a dirted tank. So I'm going to go ahead and ask you, Lane. Now, when you plant your tanks in the dirt, do you plant them deep down in the substrate, or do you just put them in the sand?
I plant them about halfway down. So I've got about a 3-inch sand top layer, and the substrate is about 2 inches. So it's about 5 inches altogether. And sometimes on one of my tanks, I've actually got 4 inches of sand and about 2 inches of mud substrate. When I put the plants in, they go about halfway into that 3-inch sand substrate, because that allows time for the roots to get into the mud. I have tried putting them straight in the mud before, and they tend to die off quite quick.
right, so he's right with what he's saying. Then, so it might be burning the younger roots, is give them a chance to grow into it rather than push them into it.
Well, that's just my experience. I think when you listen to people, you can take their advice and then try and test it yourself, because I've had it go wrong one time and right the next time. And that's with a mud substrate. And I know there's all different types of substrates out there, and that will all be different with different types of substrate with what plants you put in. But I traditionally go with a mud substrate, and when we plant it in about halfway into the sand, we find that it takes a couple of weeks for them to actually start growing quite quickly. And once they start growing, it's like a jungle. We're having to trim our plants twice a week at the minute in some of our
wow.
All right.
Hey, that's great.
which is quite good, because we use the tops of the plants for the tanks.
For the cuttings, yeah.
Yeah.
We've never had to buy plants for a long time, because
For a long time.
Yeah. But that's just our experience with planted tanks.
I think with what you were saying as well. I think when you watch, I'm not going to lie. I definitely am no aquarium expert, but
join the club.
But you know, certainly in my brief experience of having watched various different videos on how to set them up, to maintain them, all of that kind of thing, I think there are just so many different pieces of advice that will completely
there is, isn't it?
And I think
it's ridiculous. Everyone's shouting for that little bit of I'm the go-to guy instead of just all helping each other.
And the other thing I would say as well, guys, is the types of plants that you're actually putting into your tank. Now, we tried just the bog standard aquarium tanks. We found they died quite quickly. Then what we started doing was buying bog plants, like pond plants. So we use pond plants now, and we've had more success with pond.
With your plants.
Yeah, because they will grow in different heat temperatures, whether it's a water tank or an aquarium tank, regardless of the heat, as long as it's not too high. You know, these pond plants will thrive.
Yeah. What pond plants do you go for then, Ian, when you go to?
Well, there's one called, I'm having to read it, Hyperius bulgus. If I just put this up, you might be able to see it.
Oh,
yes. Yeah.
That is a beautiful plant.
Yeah. And there's also a grass as well, Leproseus, I think that's the name of it.
Oh, I like that too.
And what we tend to try is different pond plants to see which ones work. And you know, we've got some videos that are up and coming that we're still working on, and that's basically visiting pond plant shops and to show you which plants you can buy and show you how to put them in the aquarium. So that's an up and coming video which might be quite useful.
Yeah, definitely.
Wonderful. Those are some brilliant plants. I just recently bought some new plants. I'm probably, in this chat, I can almost guarantee that I'm the least experienced of anybody here when it comes to plants. And I'm not just saying that to be humble. It's the truth. I've been into the aquariums now for well over 40 years, and I've never kept plants until the last maybe.
Why, Jeffrey, you're making me blush.
Like the last maybe a year to maybe a year and a half, and that's consisted of 2 plants.
Yeah.
Hornwort that I float in the top of the tanks.
Yeah.
And Java moss that I just leave at the bottom of the tank, and that's been it up until not too long ago, where I got some Anubias, and then this last Saturday, I bought some plants at the local fish store with my friend Tara from Tara's Tank Friends.
Yeah.
And got some Bacopa moneri, the moneywort. And I got some Bacopa carolinia, I think it's called. I got that, which are beautiful plants. And then I got some jungle val from my friend Jeff Kane. He sent me some in the mail.
Top man.
And they're really nice plants. And what else do I have? I also got some pearlweed, which I really like. Mm-hmm. And so far, that is the extent of my repertoire. Oh, I also have the water wisteria. I forgot. That's one of my favorite plants. I can't believe I missed that one. Water wisteria. That is the Hygrophila deformis.
Yeah.
And with that plant, it's really a very lush plant, and I was able to propagate that. It's the first time I've ever propagated a plant ever, and so far the 2 clippings that I've done they seem to be doing real well.
Fantastic. I tell you which is an all good plant, Jeff, you might want to try. It's a pothos plant. There's different varieties of pothos plants, but we've had a lot of success with that. And
I've got some upstairs, Ian. It's lush, isn't it?
The thing is, what we tried, Mar, was we tried growing it outside the tank. So the roots would be in the tank. Then that's
what I've got, yeah. It's not downstairs, upstairs I have on a few of them.
What we're doing now is we've actually got the pothos plants right down inside the bottom of the tank next to the substrate. So that's all roots start to go into the substrate now. And it actually holds well. I mean, they've not died off, they're thriving.
Oh, well, I've got 2 tanks upstairs, and there's a little gap between the wall and there, and it's grown into the gap, and I've had to try and rive it out. It gets some hold, mind. Jesus, I thought it was going to pull the wall down. It was that tight.
Oh wow! It just grows out of the tank and
It's like, well, that's what it's called, devil's ivy, and it basically them little nodes that don't go into the water turn into like grabbers, and they just grab on like ivy.
Oh wow!
So it's just stuck right around the architrave of the door frame now at the minute. So I've got to keep on yanking it off just to make sure I can get it off, so I can do it paint and decorating when I have to.
Mark Shelley here reminded me. I forgot another plant that I have, and I got a Amazon sword plant too.
Right? How you doing, well then, Jeff? You've got more than me.
More than me.
Amazon sword plant. Well, I just went out and got a bunch of them because they're in a holding tank right now. Well, I have the Amazon sword I have in my wild type betta tank, and that's going to stay there. But all the other plants I have over in my tank with my Therichthys mikis, the fire mouths, and I got them all planted in there and for a holding until I get my dirted tank, and then I plan on either getting some clippings from them, but if they're ready for that, and then plant those into the dirted tank.
Yeah, that's the best plants, isn't it? It's like having free plants once you get the clippings off them and the rhizomes chopped up and stuff like that. That's the best ones to have. Where you buy one and you can just work your way all the way down. Well, you can in your tanks, Jeff. You've got loads of tanks to fill. It'll cost you a fortune.
I'm not brave enough to do the rhizome clippings yet. I'll just do the stem plants for right now.
Yeah.
Well, we got 5 plants out of one pothos plant.
Yeah.
Just taking them apart at the root. And now we've got some of these pothos plants and windowsills.
I was going to say they're taking over the house.
Taking over the house.
They do, don't they? It's so quick. It's so quick. I bought one for, I think it was about £14 it cost at Dobby's Garden Centre. I don't know if you'll get them down your end of England. And I think I've got 3 cuttings off for the top tank, 3 for this is upstairs, and 3 for the bottom tank, and I still had a massive plant left. And then someone was on the chat on Facebook and they were asking about pothos, and I said, I've got a plant if you want to come get it. You can have it. I've took all that I can take off it. And when you come and you've seen all the clippings all the way, like, it's starting like it go like ivy in between like the lattice work. See the lattice work I've got, with like the wood, and it's like goes in between that. It looks nice. It's getting better.
Oh, yes, it is.
But so he come and get the plant office, so pass that on.
I know some plants are quite difficult to keep. This might be quite interesting for some of your viewers that have tried to keep plants, and if they've suddenly died off. We've had this experience, whereas we still got a tropical tank. The temperature is quite, what would you say temperature is?
I think it's about 24.
About 24, 25. It's a bit dodgy, the heater. We realised after a couple of nights it went up. The heat went up itself to about 28 or something like that. All the plants died off like within 2 days. So I suppose heat is one of the things you have to be careful of. The other thing we realised was the type of substrate that you use. Now we've used this aqua. It's like the round balls, the aqua.
Oh yes, yeah.
We found that difficult to grow our plants in one of our tanks. They just kept dying off. We're not quite sure why, but we found that's why the mud substrate suits us better, and also the light as well. Yeah, you've got one of these tanks that you've got a lid that you put the lid on it. What we found is it wasn't getting enough light, natural light. You see, so we elevated the lid with some bits of like sticks, so the oxygen was getting in a lot better. So they started to go back again. So suppose the light, the substrate, the temperature, these are the things you have to look out for when you're planting plants in a tank. Yeah, some of the things.
You ever had a plant that just died and you've messed it up, and you know you've messed it up? Mine was Allodium. When I first started getting plants in the tank, because everyone gets Allodium, because that's the first one you see when you go to the fish shop to look at it. and I bought some Elodium, and then had a little trouble, and I thought it was going to be ick. So as you do, you go onto YouTube, look for. So it says to add salt and put the temperature up. So I'd done that. Didn't realise that's going to kill the Elodium. So the Elodium ended up like the seaweed that you get from the Chinese restaurant, the deep fried seaweed. That's what it was like. It was that crispy when I was pulling it out. Quite easy eat this.
Well, just talking about that, Mal, actually, with ick, we had a combination of ick, white spot disease for neon tetras.
Yeah.
Sarah's the one who rescued them all, actually. She actually got rid of it all. She's such an expert. She doesn't realise it, but she's quite knowledgeable in getting rid of ick, neon tetra, neon tetra, white spot disease. There's all this stuff that you can get to help that. There's a lot of natural stuff you can get to help diseases like that as well.
So how did they get rid of it, Sarah?
Well, so
because everyone's got their own little tips.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the name of the thing now. something beginning with M. And I put it in.
Was it the magnesium? I think magnesium might be what you're thinking.
Oh yeah, let me hold on 2 seconds.
Magnesium. Also, I seen today a very important thing where a lot of people will say that plants don't do well in hard water, but I seen on a video today from Dustin's fish tanks.
Yeah,
he's a friend that lives in Kentucky, and he's got greenhouses that he does. That's all he does is aquarium plants.
Yeah,
he'll take a large basket full of aragonite sand, and he'll take it into his tanks and he'll shake it all over. His anubias, says the anubias crave the extra calcium from it.
Yes.
All right.
It makes them really turn just really dark green, and I've seen that. And luckily for me, a lot of my tanks already have that in the substrate, so maybe that's the reason why I'm having so much success so far.
Yes,
my water's nice and hard, and got a little bit of alkalinity to it. Okay, Sarah.
Yeah, so it's this
melon fix.
Yeah. So you used that for, I think it was like 7 days or something, and we did put the temperature up to 30 as well, 30 degrees, and
it does smell nice as well, doesn't it? When you've got it in your tank, it's like you've got like a cucumbery, like a eucalyptus smell, isn't it?
It is like if you've got a cold, I'm sure it'd be wonderful. Yeah. So that did get rid of it. I think there was one plant that died.
I think one
with
plant.
that. Yeah. I think that was more the heat than anything else. But that that got rid of it, and they were all fine, all survived.
Yeah. Champion.
But the other thing about that is we were using Indian almond leaves.
Yeah.
From that. They're very good Indian almond leaves. There was one. The next time, if we ever have any white spot disease or anything like that, we want to try this this natural remedy. I know it's kind of coming off the point of plants at the minute. Health of fish. But we had a very sort of like interesting conversation with our waterman that came around to check our water, and
all right,
by luck he was an aquarium enthusiast, and he told
good.
We were talking for about 2 hours, and he told us that one of his fish was practically decomposed. It was on the verge of dying. So what he did is he used bay leaves.
Right.
A couple of bay leaves in the tank. Within 3 days, that fish grew back its fins. Gills were fine. It was swimming about like nothing had happened. So that's bay leaves, which is something I want to try the next time anything like that happens.
Yeah.
You can also like wash the grit off the bay leaves, but he just threw them in. 2 or 3, and they cured the diseased fish. Incredible. I don't know if you've heard of that, guys.
I've never heard of bay leaves.
Yeah.
I've never heard of using bay leaves. I know that
I've heard of other herbs and other fish, but this is neither the time or place.
Yeah.
But, when you think about it, I don't see why it wouldn't work, because a lot of the natural leaves, they could be brilliant for it. I know I use the jackfruit leaves and the Indian almond leaves.
Yeah.
And I also have some peat moss granules. I'm thinking about maybe trying that sometime. Like in the betta tank as well. Yeah. So we got a question up here. I'm going to go ahead and ask the chat real quick if it's okay, guys. As you see in the topic here, and I want to ask everyone in the chat, do you think that plants are just as addictive as fish? And then on a scale of 1 to 10, put your vote in. I know that right now, I think that for me, at this point in my fish keeping career, I think plants are definitely right up there with the fish.
I agree.
I'd give it a solid 10 myself.
Definitely.
I never used to be. I was the plastic pink gravel in the castle thing, me, when I first started. I admit, I've still got like that shelf over there is just full of plastic plants. I've got a.
I've been there.
But you know the reason why I turned on to like real plants was the price of plastic plants, like the silk flowers and things like that.
Yeah.
I was paying like £17 for one plant, and then I can go and buy 5 real ones for that.
Yeah.
So that's what got me into like trying plants, and then obviously you go down that rabbit hole on YouTube of plants, and then you find your father fishes and all these that's telling you about your plants and that, and it's lush. Yeah. It's like open up the hobby again for you.
Yeah, it's a new thing again, isn't it? With real plants, it's real exciting, real life, real plants.
Yeah, definitely.
We do have a few new people that joined in the chat. We have Tara from Tara's Tank Friends, and she is my personal plant guru.
Go-to. Yeah, your go-to lady.
I mean, and she'll even say, she's very humble. She'll go on, she'd say, well, I'm not a plant expert. But to me, I'm here. She's up there. Because she's taught me so much about the plants and gotten me, well, not only that, the nanofish and now the plants, it's opened up a whole new world in my aquarium keeping.
Yeah.
So, really just beautiful, wonderful. Went and shot plants last Saturday, had a great time.
Oh, yes, that's right. You did, didn't you?
I got some, like I said, I even learned some of the names here. I got the, and I'm going to forget them now, aren't I? The Hygrophila moneri. Was it Hygrophila? But
this is where I'm lost. I can read them off cards, but I couldn't remember what they're called.
These are the.
I know the genre, but when you're giving us like the Latin names.
Yeah, I'm trying to learn the Latin names.
I'm lost.
Bacopa carolinea, I think it is, and then Bacopa moneri, the moneywort, and then the other one, I'm not sure if it has a shorter name or not, but I got those. Got the Amazon sword. And then one thing I was going to get that I forgot was a banana plant. And those are kind of a nice little plant that you just set at the bottom, and maybe you don't plant it deep into the substrate, maybe just a little bit to keep it stuck in the substrate. But they're like a little stalk of bananas, and they have like little lily pads that come up from it.
All right.
It's supposed to be a really easy plant to keep, and I'll get one when I go back to the store. But,
of course, the thing is, well, Jeff, it's not just plants for substrate. You've got your water surface plants as well. Water lettuce, fantastic coverage, especially for fry. You've got your duckweed, which on a daily basis we have to keep up with duckweed.
Oh, I've got duck. I do have duckweed too. I didn't buy that though. That came in with a pair of apistogrammas. I had a couple little pieces, and I thought I got it all out of the bag when I bought them. I bought a pair online, and well, the apistos passed away. They were sick when I got them, and they probably lived for maybe 3 weeks. But the duckweed flourished. It's everywhere.
Well, I'm actually that bad at plants that the duckweed died. Yeah, you know when everyone was going to and getting like duckweed from ponds and stuff like that, and getting the jar and keeping the jar. Well, I'd done that, kept it in the jar, was fine. I thought, I'm going to try. I watched all like the silver eels and all that, drop off them, and then I thought, right, I'm going to put a couple of the clean ones in, give them a rinse, hide them in the fish tank, fish out them straight away.
That's good.
So it's quick as I was hiding them in, the quicker the fish was eating. So I just gave up. I thought,
big netfuls of it. I grab out my umbunas, and they have get a big net, like a big handful of it, throw it in the tank, and it's gone within about maybe a half an hour.
Yeah.
They'll have every spot of that, and all their bellies will be bulged. They go to town on it. They just love it.
What I find is some of the fly will hide in the duckweed. So as you're picking up fly at the same time, so you've got to sift through it. So you don't want to chuck any fly in the bin.
Yeah. That's kind of like where I'm at a little bit with my shrimp right now. I got a scud infestation that I just put a video out on that. I'm trying to figure out a way to combat them. So what I've done is I added a little micro predator to the tank, and hopefully it'll eat most of the smaller scuds, and I'll probably lose a couple baby shrimplets here and there, but I got tons of them. So, just keep it kind of a maintained type thing. But
there's a tip for you guys. If you go to an aquarium shop to buy plants, you will sometimes find a trolley full of sell-by-date plants that are less than half the price. Buy them, chuck them in your tank, they'll grow, they'll flourish. So you get them at less than half the price. So there's a bit of a tip there, because they do still grow. Even if they look like they're dying out, they'll still grow.
Oh, I didn't see any that they had half off there where we were at. They had mostly just really, most of the plants were really quite lush and really nice. But I'm not sure if they had any discount plants, but I'll keep my eye peeled for that next time I go there, because
they'll still grow, Jeff. Definitely.
I think that's
I've seen plants that look really terrible, and all of a sudden they will come back and really bounce back really good from not my tanks, but I've seen other people's tanks where they get it, say, well, my Amazon sword here is dying back, and then they'll put a root tab under it, and then I come back a couple of weeks later and it's looking green again.
Yeah. As Sarah said, that's how we got a lot of
plants, I think
that
is how we got a lot of ours, and they're things that like you kind of managed to pick them up really cheap, thinking, well, it doesn't really didn't grow, and just kind of stuck them in, and they've just been a bit of a, well, if they grow, they grow, and actually I don't think any of them have died off. Yeah.
I know you put a lot of tanks together for friends and family, that Ian, don't you, as well?
Yes. So do you want to explain a little bit about that?
So we source tanks and kind of a whole setup really for sort of if possible, that would then Ian will go and set it up for people, and particularly people that we kind of think will benefit from the value of them really, and and kind of give them the advice about keeping them, and
they're normally planted. They're normally planted tanks as well. So
planted tanks.
So they get to learn about the plants, the substrate, the fish, the snails, the shrimp. We will leave some books. These are people that we feel would benefit therapeutically. People with mental health issues or a bad time that have never had a tank before, and we find that it really does help in the recovery.
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely.
I think I was saying that to you, Jeff, the other day. The amount of people that's got into this through some kind of trauma happening in their lives, whether that be mentally or physically, they've got into fish keeping because of that. I think nearly everyone's got a story like that. There's always a reason why, because we've all kept fish tanks as young kids and things like that and had them, but then there's something that just triggered it, that need to do it again when you get older and everything. And it is therapeutic.
It is. And even the people who don't have a problem, I mean, they just haven't come to grips with it, if they do or not, it'll still reduce the stress in your life.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. I've got a couple of ex-colleagues, because I was in the British forces. I was in the army, and a couple of friends that seen a lot of action, suffering with PTSD. They've got tanks, and this is the thing that's getting them through it. They're definitely healthy a lot better through keeping tanks.
Yeah, I think Vince, who's going to come on tonight, I think he's ex-forces as well, and he keeps koi. I think that's his little getaway.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Beautiful ponds.
And also as well, guys, we kind of set it up knowing that the children would be interested. They were very interested. Every day they come back from school, they go straight to the tanks, and they'll feed the fish and all sorts. They give us updates. So we've just done a video a couple of days ago, where our 7-year-old boy is mixing up a new substrate, and he loved it. He loves his hands in the mud. You can really get the family involved with it.
There's
Green Machine
in the chat. Yes, 100%.
Yep. Oh yes, that's right. I'm going to address Green Machine Sweden here real quick. The issue with the scuds and what do you know the species there? I think they're the Hyela azteca species.
Sorry, I was just reading Gil's comment there. Was your stress reduced when your filter went rogue, Mal? Yeah, that's what happened in my tank today with that filter. It was my own laziness because I've got a brand new filter to go in, but I've just had that old one there polishing the water before.
Yeah. That's a different type of stress that comes with
it. Yeah. But like Daniel says, it's a good job it went down over, not over, and emptied my tank. So,
yep.
Different problem. It always happens when you're busy, though, and you've got other things to do. That's when it always happens. I had about an hour window, and I thought, I'll quickly, just to make that video, come downstairs. Oh, that video's out the window. Got something to do now.
That's your usual thing in the evening. You think, I'll just do this quick job. And you're still there at 3 o'clock in the morning.
3 o'clock in the morning.
Still doing it.
Like him there.
Yeah, they love
he texts me in the morning from America, and he says, well, I best go to bed. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. I've been up all night. Think,
That's me, yep. I'm a late owl. I mean, I tend to go to bed between 3 and 4 a.m.
Jeff, me and you should have a sleepover.
We're on the same time schedule, right?
Do you both like coffee?
Here it is. Lots of coffee. Absolutely. All right.
So do we have any scores in?
Yep.
1 to 6?
We had a lot of
6.
I've seen quite a few 10s.
10s, yeah.
Yep. I'd say I'd have to give it a 10 at this moment in time for me.
I'm very surprised Tora put 10, mate.
Well, Red Laser got 10. Stephen P got 10. Tara's 10. Arnold's 10. Lando's 10. Mel, yep, 6. And
6. 6. I'm still for fish rather than. That's what I try to do.
You can go 10.
I make a lot of more room for fish than I do for plants still, but I'm on the verge of swapping over.
Oh, same here. Fish. I mean, if I had to choose one or the other, I mean, if I couldn't do both, it'd be fish.
Yeah.
But luckily, we don't have to do that. We don't have to make that choice. But we have an interesting question coming up that you came up with, and I'm going to put up on the banner right now.
You always do this to me, Jeff, and then I have trouble reading the question.
I'm going to put you on the spot here, Mel.
Yeah, what did I ask?
Here it is. This is a question that Mel had asked me, and I thought it was really interesting, so I wanted to put it up with the topic tonight to ask everybody out in the chat and everybody on the panel.
This is what happens, Jeff. You always ask a question that we've already talked about later on.
Oh, I know, but we have.
This is 3 plants, not just the one.
Yeah, just the one. That's right. So,
all right. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm going to start with. We'll start with Ian and Sarah and see what their answer would be on this one. Now, the question is, if you could only keep just 3 plants, only 3 species, what would they be? And that's for any of your tanks. In other words, you got 5 tanks, and you can only have 3 plants. You can only have these 3 plants in all of the tanks.
Well, my top one would be the pothos plant.
The pothos. Okay.
Yeah. And what I find with the pothos plant is when you put food in the tank, the leaves will catch some of the food. I know I've gone off back a little bit, but then the fly will come and find it when the big ones can't.
Yeah.
Find it. Do the leaves grow on, the leaves do grow on the bottom? Oh.
They can grow underwater, but they tend to come out.
Yeah.
But they will rot after a while underwater.
Oh, I see.
The leaves, but you get some really good root systems coming down off the pothos, like Ian said before.
Okay, so we have pothos. What would the next one be?
My second one would be this one.
That you're not going to try and pronounce.
That I'm not going to try and pronounce. That one grows in ponds and aquarium tanks. Now, what I like about this plant is there's an abundance of it grows, and it's so easy to take snippings off and regrow.
So you're covering all the options there with that one then. Yeah.
Yeah. And it grows in warm water or cold water. And they give the tanks very good coverage for fry to hide in, so they can't get eaten by the adults. It's a beautiful plant as well.
Yep.
Hello, Jeff.
On to number 3. What's your third one?
Oh, what about you?
I knew that was going to happen.
Well, I
wouldn't have a clue what any of the names are. There's a nice one with red leaves. What's the one? I don't know what that is.
We've got a beautiful plant with bright red leaves. We can't remember.
Yeah.
It just looks nice. So
looks nice.
Yeah.
but my third one would be a surface plant. That surface plant would be water lettuce.
Yeah.
Water lettuce, brilliant for the water, great for fish to hide in, beautiful look at the top. So the water lettuce plant for a surface plant would be my third one.
Nice.
Do you get the dwarf variety or the normal size?
Normal size.
Normal size. I prefer the normal size.
Yeah. They fit quite nice in the top of the tank.
Yeah.
I've seen some nice size ones, probably, I don't know, the water lettuce. Good sized little pieces, look like a big 4-leaf clover floating on top of the water. I like
it. And the thing is, Jeff, give them time, they will grow and grow and grow. The problem with the water lettuce is they will breed like duckweed. So I'm having to scoop out loads of the water lettuce, the ones you just described when they're babies, because they will grow full size.
Oh.
And the problem
do you sell it on, Ian? Any extras? Do you sell it on?
No, we don't do it. We use it for when we set tanks up for people. We'll get
more tanks, right?
Okay. And the problem with the water lettuce is they will have little water lettuce bugs on them. And they just appear from nowhere. We're not sure exactly what we've tried to research what these little bug things are. But I think they sprout wings and they fly about the tank. We'll come down one morning, there'll be things flying about the tanks.
Right.
Like
little fruit flies. When you leave it.
They tend to live on water lettuce and they tend to feed off it. And what they do is they burrow into the water lettuce plant, they hollow it out, then the water lettuce plant will sink.
All right.
Oh. Now, what was that? What burrows into it? I'm sorry.
I'm sure they're actually called like water lettuce bugs or something.
Yeah.
We did try to look them up, but but we haven't really found a way to get rid of them.
They kind of come with the territory.
Yeah,
I wonder, definitely. It sounds almost like a scud would do. They really, I mean, especially a nice thick succulent plant like the water sticker. Yeah. I can see them eating their way into that. And
you see holes inside the leaves. Yeah, and the whole plant will just submerge right to the bottom because it's been eaten inside out. So
that could be if you by chance see that and get a picture of it, I can let you know what I might be able to identify it for you.
Okay.
Because God, I can tell them right off because I'm infested with them in a couple of my tanks here. And I've been doing a little bit of warfare with them, but we're going to see how that goes. And so that's your third.
Yeah.
What's yours then, Jeff?
Okay.
Or do you want me to go next?
I'll go ahead.
Go on.
Well, mine are going to be easy because these are two of the plants are the very first ones I got. Number one would be my Java moss. So easy. I mean, it grows great. Well, it does when you don't have scuds, that is. But Java moss and hornwort, because I do a lot of breeding, and the hornwort really makes a nice for the fry. So hornwort, I just float it to the top, and it gets really covers a lot of the surface. And then my third favorite, I would have to say, would be my Anubias right now. Right. I have one that I glued to a rock a while back, and it's still doing really well. But I got to say, though, I'm starting to get a real fondness for the stem plants, too. But those are the three that right now, if I could only keep three, the Java moss, the hornwort, and the Anubias would be my choices.
Yeah. Nice.
Now we got Mel.
My choices. Mine would probably be Anubias along the same lines as you, Jeff, just because it looks nice. I know it doesn't take up much nitrates and stuff like that. It's very slow growing, but it does look nice.
Oh, yeah.
But my first one would probably be Vallisneria. Just for the simple fact you're getting short plant as well as a long plant that goes up and over the top of you. And if you put it in the current of your filter and it just flows across the top, it's like watching reeds in a river. It's nice.
Oh, yeah.
So that's me two. And my third one would probably be a money tree to pay for it all. No, my third one would probably be, I would say, trying to think, what would my third one actually be? I would say probably Amazon swords.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, just to give a bigger leaf, because just for me angelfish to lay eggs on, that's all. So I could pluck the leaf off and take them out rather than mess around.
With all that being said,
there's hundreds out there. Hundreds I could have choose, to be quite honest.
And isn't it great we got more than just our favorite three to choose from?
Yeah.
I mean,
isn't it great? We're not limited like that in real life.
In real life. But it's always good to have that. I like that. For some reason or another, I like having that little scenario where, if you can only have a couple fish, that's all you can have. I don't know why I do that. I don't know why my mind goes there. But it's interesting to find out what other people like, and what they would keep. So
yeah.
And I've seen a few out here in the chat. We got Junior, Crinium, Potho, Madagascar lace, Green Machine Sweden. I wanted Cryptocurn, Crypatstula, Java Fern, and Vallisneria Spiralis, and Anubias. That's more than three though. Okay. Let's see. We have anybody else here?
Mark Shelby saying Cryptoid's favourite. Jungle Val's awesome, but it always takes over a year to get established. Now, I've never found that with mine. For some reason, it just grows really well in my water, so I've never found that for the Val. But Arnold's got some lush wide. I'm not sure what it was called, Arnold. What was your wide Vallisneria called? Was it onion? I can't remember if it was onion or gigantica or something like that. I'll fancy getting that one next.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're sort of like, we would like to try and experiment with different house plants as well.
Yeah.
Just to see.
I was thinking about actually doing I was watching a couple of videos about growing fruit out the top, like strawberries and stuff like that.
Yes.
I was actually thinking about doing that sort of thing as well.
Yeah.
Just to try and soak as much of the nitrates as in it, because when you're on a water meter, you try your hardest to get that in between one water change to the next one as far as possible.
Well, what I find, Mel, is I mean, this might sound crazy to your viewers, but so we've got about 5 tanks. In the beginning, we were doing water changes.
Yeah.
As soon as we put the plants in, no water changes.
Yeah.
Weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
The plants are keeping the water healthy.
Crystal clear for you. Yeah. Oh, definitely.
The only thing we need to do is top up the water because it evaporates every day. But we've not had to do any water changes since we've had planted tanks.
Yeah.
It does keep the nitrates and ammonia stuff out of the tank. I know that.
I think sometimes we worry too much about nitrates. I mean, nitrates are dangerous for like your marine fish because you've got to keep them zero, for your marine fish. But for your freshwater fish, I think they've done studies where you can practically go up to like nearly 200 mils,
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
thing
parts per million, and there's no difference. It's
the
just
thing-
it's the same with ammonia. That the panic here with ammonia, but
Yeah.
it's when it gets up to the 20 parts, not 0.0 of a part. That's when it gets like dangerous for your fish.
Well, I think you saw our live stream with George Mexicali.
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
We explained that I got into this because my dad would go off to the river, we'd collect the mud
yeah,
for the substrate, we'd collect the sand, we'd collect the water, we'd collect plants, and to make it as natural as possible. And I think this is why we've got success with our tanks, because they're all planted tanks. It's like looking at a riverbed, it's exactly the same, but you can see it inside your house. It's a beautiful thing. But we've also collected the pond water, the river water, and packed some of that in as well.
yeah.
And we've
Just
tried
to get
to make
established.
it as natural as possible, And this is maybe one of the reasons why we don't have to do water changes.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things I've heard though about when it comes to I know the plants keep the nitrates and all the bad stuff out of the water. One thing that I was told is that the water change isn't so much to improve the water quality, but it puts in extra nutrients for the plants. When you put the fresh water in with a water change, it puts in some of the trace elements that they need.
Well, I mean, it's a very good point, that, Jeff. But my theory is all we do with the substrate. If you've got a very good, healthy substrate, and you've obviously got the fish feces going into the sand, feeding the substrate, growing the plants. So the plants are getting really healthy growth from the substrate, which is like the mud substrate I've been talking about. I think one of the key elements.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, you get a lot of those. You get a lot of those trace elements in that substrate as well, in the dirt and in the
I think also for you though, Jeff, the water change is big for you bringing on your breeding, because obviously you've got fish in there that's releasing hormones. They're all competing with each other. You do a big water change, then all of a sudden, explosion.
Yes,
isn't it? Where they go back into.
Yeah, it's kind of a double-edged sword. You got it puts in the trace elements for the plants, and then also you said it takes out all those hormones that are in the water.
And then it just starts off the breeding process all again, doesn't it, for you?
It drops down the temperature a few degrees, and it kind of mimics nature a little bit, I guess you'd say. Get a rain. Yeah, so it's a good thing to do for me anyway. I mean, some people don't want to do any water changes. I mean, we've seen a lot of people choose one way or the other. Some people do like a combination of both, and I'm kind of like in the middle. I just do.
I'm still in like 50-50 for me. I'd like to extend it from weekly to monthly if I could, but I would still probably do a little bit just because, like, same as you, Jeff. Whenever I do a water change, me angelfish spawn, me corridora spawn, me plecos spawn straight away. Second I do a water change, so there must be something in.
We've got live bearers. We don't have any fish we don't have any fish that lay eggs, and so maybe this suits our live bearers.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah.
Nathan,
what's your water? Sorry, what?
I'm sorry, Nathan Hovey has an interesting combination here. He has the kabamba, which is a really fast-growing plant. That's something I might want to try to get. I'm not sure if that's illegal. That might be one that's illegal here in Michigan. I have to double-check with the wildlife prohibitions on that. But we have that one. He has Ludwigia broadleaf and dwarf sagittaria. That's interesting. That's he's kind of covering all three of the heights of the plant. You got the kabamba that gets real tall, and
nice.
The Ludwigia broadleaf. That's a nice combination, Nathan. Thank you for adding that. Welcome to the stream there. Sorry about that, guys. I just wanted to point that one out. It was interesting because he kind of covered all three.
Yeah, good idea.
With that.
I think.
I'll tell you what is nice, though, is talking about water changes without it turning into an argument. Because you find on YouTube, it's so polarized. And you just think, there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. You can watch these different videos, and there's there is, I think, just no right or wrong way of doing any of it, to be honest. I think it's about finding what works for you and just kind of going with it, or use a bit of a combination of all of those things and making up your own method as you go along, really. I was just going to say, when you're talking about the heights of plants and things, the other plants that I personally really like, but we have no more left because the fish actually dug them all up, are the grasses. It gives like a real nice kind of
carpet on the bottom.
And it did. I mean, when it was there, it did look really nice. Oh, is that? Oh, yeah. So that's
the one there.
And then we kind of suddenly realised that it was disappearing, and couldn't quite understand what was happening to it until we actually saw the fish pulling out the roots.
We have Chris Stubbs in the chat. Hello, Chris. Welcome, my friend. This is hello to Mel. Here we are. It's one day. And it is illegal. I'm sorry to interrupt there, guys. Tara does say, because she lives in my state and she has a better understanding of what is legal and not here. And I had a feeling the kabamba was illegal because I thought I read it somewhere, but it is illegal in Michigan. The plant that Nathan was talking about earlier. Didn't mean to cut you off there. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Right. So yeah, the water. When you talk about the water changes, like I said, it's a volatile topic. And not just
it seems like that sells videos, though, doesn't it? To be more volatile about the passion of how you think it should be, and then it gets views. That's it gets views. Like I'm not going to do that.
The first part is to do it or not, and then is how you do it.
Yeah.
How much you do it.
Yeah.
And all that, and it's like, okay, well, you got to do 80% water change every week to keep the water nice and pristine. That's not the way I do it.
No, yeah.
I mean, it's if that works for you, that's great. I'll do my 25% every 2 weeks, and that works for me. Maybe 25, 30%. Who knows? Something like that, depending on. If I do a gravel vac, it'll be just a 20 or 25% water change, and I'll do a little bit of cleaning up on the substrate a little bit, not much. If it's plants in the tank, but these are the ones that I have no plants in the tanks. So
see, Jeff, that's what you'd love about a sand bottom over. When you do your dirty tank, you don't have to gravel vac. It just wafts over the top, and your filter just takes all the excess away, leaves a bit there that turns into mulch. Turns into plant food.
Yes,
right. Yeah,
but that's I know there's people out there that's taking filters out and things like that, and good luck if you can get away with it. But I still like that just little bit of security blanket sort of thing for me, where the filter's taking some of it out and some's getting left for the plants.
Well, see, we thought about like vacuum. We thought about the gravel and we got into doing all this stuff, water changes, vacuuming and stuff like this. It's quite a lot of hard work, really. It really is.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Then I kind of thought, I spoke to Sarah and I said, look, this is how my dad used to do it. Let's try it that way. And since we've been doing it my dad's way, and his dad showed him how to do it, we've never had to do any of that other stuff. It's just there. You don't. All we have to do is top up the water. That's it, and it's made life a lot easier for us. The fish seem quite happy, but you can watch so many YouTube channels. You have to do this. You have to do that. But I think all whatever suits you and your lifestyle and what you're happy with.
Oh, definitely.
I don't think there's a right way and there's a wrong way to do it. There's just different ways.
Yeah, and that's why it's so lovely. It can be done so many different ways, and to everybody, different types of style.
There you go. There's Ritesh in the chat there. Bare bottom's best. A lot of people like to do that. Bare bottom tanks.
Oh, I didn't see that yet. I'm still working my way down the chat here. Likes the bare bottom tank.
June, she prefers bare bottom.
Oh, okay.
And
I can for
obviously with June it's going to be easier to pick poop out because she's got big Oscars, so it's going to be big bits of poop.
I mean, when you start talking
pick them
about
out with a spoon,
substrates and plants, it does seem quite scary, and some people may just want it basic.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Green Machine Sweden says, in my water change, I just temporarily restore the aquarium out of balance, the aquarium in balance. Do you need to much water change? Just a few, perhaps 2 a year per year, perhaps, to remove tannins. Yeah, that's true too. Let's see here. Ritesh says, bare bottoms is the best. Add plants and plastic pots and rocks. You can do that too. I was thinking about doing like a container garden using the terracotta pots. I know that, and then I'd be able to also vacuum the bare, the bare bottom.
Yeah.
Any of the big detritus that went in there. I could be making more work for myself doing that, but I'd still get the benefit of both.
Yeah.
It's a good point. I was just saying to Sarah the other day, we want to try and get some terracotta pots to put in some of our tanks, because we think we'll give the fish some sort of secure little hidey places.
Yeah, you get sight blocks. You got the round pot in there. They could, if you get some fish that are semi-aggressive, and get in there, and they could have little places to get out of line of sight.
Absolutely.
And also the plants that grow up from it, give them more shelter and whatnot.
Yeah,
definitely. And Ritesh says, bare bottom plants is the best. Add plant. Yeah, that we just went there. Prefer bare bottoms and rock planters. Work for June. Yeah. Okay. And hello, LJ Shrimp. Welcome to the chat. Let's see here. Stubbs, everyone has opinions. I prefer bare bottoms too, but not in my aquariums. Okay, Chris.
He's going commando.
Hello, Chris.
Right? That's good. Yeah, Nathan Hubby, I got to figure out what to do with all this veil I have right now. I probably have over 100 stems of it in a bucket and probably another 50 in 2 tanks. Wow, that's a lot of veil. That's a lot of veil. I got some in my tanks. I don't have that much. I got maybe, 4 or 5 stems of it. But yeah. And Bwizzle, hello, Bwizzle. Cheers to you, my friend. We're just talking about plants here, and I got Ian and his wonderful wife Sarah here, and we're just talking about plants with Mal, and having a very good conversation. Oh, you ain't got to worry about that, Chris. That was funny. Hello, Patty. Welcome. This is right up your alley, Patty, where we're talking about plants. And if you don't know Patty's Aquatics here, he's got a wonderful channel. He's great with his plants. I just love it. And
he's got a lovely demeanor about him as well. You'd actually listen to him when he's talking, because he doesn't force it down your throat. It's like,
he's
like
really,
what I like,
Yeah.
Where they just say, he has my opinion, take it or leave it. It might work for you.
That's right.
That's what I like, when people say like Patty like that.
That is the best kind of advice. I can listen say it to you in a way that, okay, well, this is what I do, and I go about it. It works for me, and not saying, oh, you've got to do it.
You just take a little bit from there, a little bit from there, mix it all together, and see if it works for you. And then I don't like Patty's channel.
Well, it's like you kind of see the planted tanks as like a garden.
Yeah.
Treat it in the same way. You can put different things there, see how it goes. As long as you do research, so the plant doesn't kill the actual fish. It's not poisonous or toxic. But try different plants, make them go like a garden. Beautiful.
Yeah.
The aquascapers, they're quite good at that.
Yep.
Have any of you ever tried putting aloe vera in a tank, like a proper from of an aloe vera plant?
We've not done that.
I was looking online to just see if I could find out, because obviously a lot of your medications got aloe vera in. I was like looking, well, I've got an aloe vera plant. Could I not just cut one open and put one in?
I wonder if anybody's tried that.
All I could find was some Jamaican channel where he was just cutting them off and hiding the whole thrum into his big tanks.
Ooh.
But I heard another one say that the skin's actually poisonous to fish, so you don't know what to do.
I think you just got to do your research before.
Yeah.
I mean, you're pretty safe buying plants out of an aquarium shop. With a garden shop, you just got to do a bit of research before you chuck them in, really. See if they'll suit the life of the tank.
Yes. Yeah, let's see here. Just making my way through the chat here, guys. Don't mind me. I'm just putting up some conversations here.
Well, whilst you're doing that, Jeff, could I give a little shout out?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thanks, guys. It's Fishy Biz Aquatics. Fishy Biz Aquatics.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they've been doing some charity fundraisers for the community to buy hams and turkeys. They've just had a live stream. It's just recently happened. And they've raised the funds that they need, but they're still raising more funds for the 20.
Get a head start for next year.
Yeah. Well, they've got another live stream the 28th of this month. And that's going to be on Aquafunk's channel, who's supporting Fishy Biz. I think Mexicali first informed me about it, George.
Yeah.
If George is on the live stream, if he could chuck the link up.
Put the link in. I've got the link on my Facebook as well. But obviously I'll be coming out to do it.
And this guy, Fishy Biz, he's a school teacher. I think his name's Mr. Clark. He does this off his own back, but a few channels are supporting him with it, which has made his life easier. And he also teaches stuff like aqua stuff to these classroom kids. He'll go in and take tanks and big respect to him. I hope he does well. But we're kind of supporting him with a little bit of promotional videos and whatnot. But this guy is like totally out there, and this is the beautiful thing about these channels on YouTube or whatever media platform is you can raise money to help other people less fortunate, and this is what I love about this.
Oh, absolutely.
I've been on and I've donated. Don't tell Jeff. Oh, too late. I've told Jeff. You won't be wanting to drop him a tip. No, I know how to do it.
Oh, that's good. Well done, Ma. Well done.
But I think I seen it at the same time as you when George had done that little quick pop up, didn't he?
Yeah.
Explain what he wanted to do. And plus, I don't mind helping someone that's helping others. It's when they're helping, asking for help for helping them kind of thing. You know what I mean? I know it's still a good charity, but he was helping a big community.
Yes, that's very very good. Sam's got up here. Please help Joe. Fishy Biz Educate Future.
That's it.
That's the one.
Well done.
Well done. It's a good shout out. That well done.
That's right.
And
do you want to say thank you in a rhythmical fashion?
Yeah,
Sam. Thank you very much from what's down here.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Very, very nice.
I think this is why it's so good being part of a community like this, because you come across channels, and I'm sure there's hundreds of channels out there doing loads of good stuff. But this is why I love doing YouTube, because you get to know these channels and you can try and support them in your own way. We started doing like promotional videos, and it's kind of like taking quite a lot of our time up. We're not getting a chance to do a lot of our tank stuff to promote ourselves. But what we feel is there's some of the smaller channels that need that bit of a platform. If you can do a promotional video for them, chuck it up, because otherwise they're paying a lot of money to get some professional people to do it for them. They may not have that access. So we're trying to do as many promotional freebie. Every single promotion we've done, we've not asked for any money. We do it all for free, and it's to try and get these channels more of a platform. And
yeah, definitely.
And this is why this community
it doesn't harm. It just press subscribe. You know what I mean? On all these, help each other, help.
Yeah, that was very kind of you too, Ian. I really appreciate that. That was very, very kind and generous.
No, you're welcome. Welcome.
It was so nice. If anybody hasn't seen Ian's channel, I think we put the link up earlier. I don't know if we can try and do that again, but be sure to go and check his channel out and give him a subscription because he's got a wonderful channel and he's just beginning out on YouTube. And let's show him some love and get him up there and get him going good, huh?
I think
you've been on TikTok for a while, though, haven't you, Ian?
Yeah, we've been on YouTube for about 2 months now. It's about 2 months now.
Probably is about 2 months.
Yeah, and the TikTok, I changed it all to Aquarium Magic about 2 months ago. The channel X, we changed all our social media 2 months ago to Aquarium Magic because that's what we want to be known as, Aquarium Magic, you see. Yeah.
So you've done the same as me. Picked an A word so you're up the top. You don't have to scroll that far for it.
The thing is, we're not actually punting for subscribers. We genuinely want to try and help other people. It's kind of what we do in our personal life, and we kind of want to do that with the fishy family. It's just try and help them, get them out there.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, what's happened there?
What happened?
That's the romantic music.
Yeah. Oh, I think the music on now.
The romantic music.
Here we are. We're just kind of winding down with the stream here.
We'll have to leave that for Fins only.
So we'll be getting a glass of wine in a minute.
Yeah, I wish you
yeah.
Well, I think we've really covered a lot of good territory here with the plants tonight.
Are we all done on the questions?
Oops, we got to see here. He's asking I can't read the names, blurry, y'all. What's made those videos showcasing all the channels? Thank you so much. I really appreciate you including my channel.
Oh, I want to know what
that's by Ian.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you've got a link to put up, have you, Mel or Jeff?
For your channel?
Yeah.
Yeah. I shall do that now for you.
I honestly don't even know how to do it.
I'll do it on that. I'll do it on the iPad.
For Nathan? You want to put your
who am I doing? Nathan's or
I can put Nathan's up and
right, I'll do Ian's.
Yeah, I'll go to Nathan's channel real quick here. Pick this one up. And that way we can have they can do a collaboration thing. There is Nathan's. Put his up.
See how quick you are compared to me, Jeff.
Got a really
telling me you're no good at technology and you've whizzed through that.
Yeah, I've subscribed to it.
On the phone, it's really easy. You just touch it and it goes right to their channel. The 3 dots at the top. Click it. Share.
Do you not lose it where you are channel wise?
No.
If you do it,
because at the bottom you'll see if you're on your phone doing it. In other words, I'm going to go.
Now I've got to look back for your channel on my iPad to try and get it.
Oh no, you should.
And I actually know Nathan. I've actually done some promos, and I've included Nathan's channel on some of the promotional videos, and I'm subscribed to Nathan's channel as well.
Jeff, I think it's going to be quick if you do it, yeah, mate.
Yeah. Are you in the you're in the post here already, right? From the very beginning. So let me go up to the top here.
I tried to put it in at the very start, didn't I? So it should be just pick it up from there.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run back to his
Yeah, no pressure, Mel, but just on 2 at the moment.
Great.
Yes, the cool on me. Good. Yeah. Brilliant.
You done it, Jeff?
I'm finding it right now.
Please help.
Oh, man, eh?
Aquarium.
Actually, I've done it, Jeff. I've just found it.
Oh, okay, great.
Right,
Excellent.
2 seconds.
Oh, Jeff Kane's put it up there.
Oh, Jeff.
Oh.
Oh, thank you very much, Jeff. I appreciate that. Well, once it's already up there, anybody that's already in the chat here, I can just pick it up real quick and.
Yeah.
Oh, well done, Jeff.
Excellent. Thank you. Excellent. So, I have one more thing to put up here on the banner. So let me go ahead and do that. And this is an opportunity for anybody that has any type of suggestion they have. Just a generalized thing. If you had a bit of knowledge you wanted to lay down for somebody, what would it be? We'll start with Mal, if that's okay, with your plants.
It's no good asking me for knowledge on plants, Jeff. God, well, that put us on the spot.
It's not a contest.
Live from under the bus. Thank you.
At your stage in the plant keeping, what would you say if you were telling to somebody even newer than yourself something that would help them?
I would say, don't be afraid of a plant dying.
Yeah.
It happens to it all, no matter how good you are. There'll be some plant that you'll just not suit with your.
Never give up. That's good. That's a good message. That's a good message.
Because for me, it's Java fern. I think I've said it 1,000 times. It just turns into mush for me, no matter what.
Okay.
So that's my bit of advice. Take it or leave it.
Great. Sounds good. Okay, Sarah and Ian, what would your bit of advice be for somebody that you're trying to help? Just giving them some kind of general knowledge. Doesn't have to be any particular method.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about Sarah, but my top tip would be, you're buying a plant from an aquarium shop, and normally the plants will come in a little plastic basket with some ceramic weight to hold it down. Now, using if you've got a mud substrate, I would cut that plastic basket off, take the little foam out from away from it, take the ceramic thing away, so you've got the bare root of the plant. Then you can split it up and probably make about 3 or 4 plants out of it. Plant it in your your mud straight based tank, but just in the sand, probably about halfway down the sand. So you're going to get like 5 plants out of it rather than 1.
Yeah, well done. For me, I think what I did pretty much, I researched a little bit. I read a bit about plants and their general care. As like I said, I'm probably honestly the newest person in here when it comes to plants. There might be somebody that is possibly newer, but they'd have to be really new to be have less knowledge than what I have. But I would definitely do the research. Find the plants that you like and you want to try to keep. Find out what their needs are, and then just do the best you can. That's what that's all I got to offer on that one.
Good job.
Tara says that buy the plants grown in the water similar to yours, and that's her number 1 advice, and that makes a lot of sense because similar water, it's going to have a better chance of surviving. Absolutely. And you're right. I don't.
That goes well, Tara, for your fish as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The amount of times you start trying to chase parameters rather than just go with what you got.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I was going to say is just keeping it simple. To be honest, you don't need to go off and buy really expensive, complicated, hard to look after plants. You just need basic, simple plants, and they can, make a really nice looking tank and be hopefully kind of slightly easier to look after. I mean, I was just thinking about, the weekend we took the children for walks to the local woods where there is a huge lake, really. And while myself and the children were enjoying the nice walk, Ian was inspecting the plants and how they were growing in the water. And I think, kind of thinking, what could I use from here to transfer to the tanks? So I think, keeping it that simple, really. And I think, going with what Tara said as well, actually, about sort of keeping it within the water that your fish.
Keep it simple.
Yeah. And LJ has a very good point here too, and this is what I've heard from multiple sources. Don't give up. If you got a little bit of green on your plant, it's best just to ride it out and see what comes of it. It might come back. That's a good point, because I had, like I said, with my new sword plant, my new Amazon sword I just started using the root tabs and the liquid fertilizer, right? And I've never used that before. So I had one before, and it only lived for maybe 2 weeks and it died. I didn't do my research on it. I didn't, although I've been told, they're a heavy root feeder. I figured, well, the tank was dirty enough, enough detritus and stuff in the substrate that it's going to feed it. But it still died. And now that I have a root tab in there, my new one's doing a lot better. But that's a good piece of advice from LJ. If it's still a little bit alive, just try and give it a chance. I guess that's good.
Very good shout out, Jeff. I found this with algae. If the plant looks like it's dying off, keep it in there, because it'll probably, sometimes it's a natural process when it goes into a new tank. It'll look like it's dying off. It's just getting used to the water parameters, then it'll re-grow. Yeah. With white algae, I had a lot of white algae on one of my plants, and I left it. It looked like it was getting worse, but then it started to disappear. Then I realised the platies were actually eating it, and that's what got rid of it in the end.
Yep, absolutely.
All natural. Yeah.
And when you think about it too, when the plant actually dies, you got other plants in the tank and they're doing okay. I imagine that when the plant dies, I mean, it doesn't look good in there, but when it breaks down, it's going to create more nutrients for the other plants.
Yeah. The roots are still in the substrate, so the plant may regrow. But you're right. Whatever breaks down, I tend to leave in, because it sinks into the substrate and everything else uses it up. The plants will reuse it, the nutrients.
Kind of like nothing goes to waste, I mean, even in the something passed away. I remember when Mel did a video and he had a little angelfish had passed away, and try to make a big, people like to make a big deal. You got a little teeny fish, it's going to kill everybody in the tank, but they don't realize that, you put it in the substrate.
Oh, yes,
and
I just remember funny about, and I just buried it under the substrate.
Yep. Now you probably did the plant.
It had actually no effect at all on my tank, ammonia-wise. It never, ever went on any kind of ammonia. I had a little bit, I would say 0.25 of the API test.
Yeah.
For about, I think I was testing every 4 days, 5 days, something like that. And it was just a tiniest little thing where it didn't even matter.
Again, there's an argument there, isn't there? There's an argument that if you keep a fish that's died of a disease, do you keep it in the tank? Will other fish be affected through a diseased fish, or do you leave it so it can sink into the substrate? It's a very good argument, but the way we look at that is what would happen in the natural world.
Yeah. I mean, don't get us wrong, if I was keeping things like Oscars, you're going to notice an Oscar line at the bottom of the tank, I'd pull it out, but these are just tiny little terror things, that get stuck behind plants and things like that.
Yeah.
And I think it was because someone had says to us, it's going to kill all the rest of my fish if I don't get it out. And I practically stripped down this tank for the dwarf gourami and still couldn't find it. So the only thing I could think of where that actually went was it must have jumped out the tank, and my dogs ate it before I even had a chance to notice it's gone.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I could have. Stripped down the tank, stripped everything out, still couldn't find it. And then it was just one of them keyboard warriors telling us that everything was going to go wrong.
Panic shoot. We had that 3 weeks ago, Mel. We've got it's a Mickey Mouse platyfish. Quite a big thing. Quite a big thing, actually. Probably about 1.5 inches. Disappeared. Couldn't find it. 3 weeks ago. Still not. We presumed it's died and it's went into the substrate. None of the fish have been infected.
Yeah,
we've
had the same with some beta fish as well, haven't we?
Some beta fish as well died off.
Morning crane.
The substrate.
Never been able to find them.
Yeah,
but they've not affected.
They've not affected the tank. No.
Especially when you got plants in, because plants take up the ammonia as well. So as well as the nitrate. So I think the only one you really struggle with is the nitrite, isn't it? That's the only one that it's that a half in between where the plant doesn't want it.
Yeah.
But to be quite honest, I've never ever had anything when I've been testing parameters ever on nitrate. No matter what. So I've been lucky.
Nitrates, nitrites. We were very, very sort of like, every single day we would be checking the parameters. Now, we're maybe checking it once every 2 weeks, if that.
That's the same as me, Ian. When I first set up a tank, I tend to do it like religiously. When I first set it up, once it's balanced and I know where it is, I just let it get on with it. I don't even test it after that.
Yeah.
Don't even test.
It's the only time I test it.
Yeah.
Once you get the success going, when I set up a new tank, it doesn't happen anymore now because by using the way I do my method, I use the used sponge filters and I put them right in the tank, give it a good squeeze and keep them in there, and it kickstarts the beneficial bacteria.
Yeah.
Before I did that though, and when I just did it right from scratch, this has been years ago. It'll go through the phase where you get this big outburst of diatom brown algae that grows on the tank. That was, the first life that come in there and stuff. But I haven't had it since I started doing it with the transplant.
That's only algae I've trouble with was the diatoms, but I put it down to being the silica sand I had at the time. Obviously, it uses it to make its glass shell, and then so obviously, I think what had happened is too much nutrients, too much things to make itself reproduce itself fast with its silica sand. And that's the only algae I've ever had trouble with. And it was, like you say, Jeff, the first tank I ever set up. Ever since I do it like the same as what you do, just empty out my filter in the next tank.
Yep.
And I've never had trouble. Never had trouble with algae since.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Still time.
Sam says 8 years. Checked my pond once. Everything's doing fine, and I'm sure probably will be fine.
Yeah.
This is the point of that was a very good comment, that actually, because we treat our planted tanks like ponds, and but it's the same as any tank, regardless if it's especially if it's planted. It just takes time to settle down. Once it's settled down, you're pretty safe, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely. I think the only difference between a pond and a tank is you like to see everything in a tank, where in a pond you appreciate it's going to always look silty. It's always going to be.
Yeah.
And you're looking down at a fish rather than at a fish.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And when you go, with most tropical fish, when you actually put them in a container and look down at them, they're not very attractive. They look like sticklebacks, most of them.
Yeah.
It's that brown backs,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's not until you see them from the side that you actually see a bit of variation in most of your fish.
That's right.
Yep. Oh, and he says I don't have a pond.
That's
well done, Sam. He's a joker. Right. But from my general knowledge, as far as aquariums go, I didn't start having my real decent success until I stopped cleaning the tank so much. When I clean the tank religiously on a regular basis, I mean, the beginning is like, you got to keep it clean, man. You got to keep this clean. Fish died nonstop because I didn't know about the nitrogen cycle back in 1974 when I was 10 years old. I mean, I was trying to be a good lad, keep the tanks cleaned, and the fish will do well. They all died.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I, learned that. Let the tank get dirty. A dirty tank, a well-established tank is a happy and healthy tank.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing goes for the plants too. I mean, from what I know is that the more of the detritus that gets into the soil, the more nutrients they're going to get. So, I mean, I think my gravel backing days are probably going to be coming to an end in the planted tanks, especially.
Yeah. Oh, once you get that sand over the top of it, you'll never look back, Jeff. Honestly.
Yeah, I'm going to put a sand cap over even with the 65 gallon where I got the other tank. I'm going to get a nice big bunch of that pool filter sand and put that out.
But it's true what you say, Jeff, because I think over cleaning it, it takes away the good bacteria. We in one of our tanks, we've got this air filter, and every sort of like 6 weeks, it will start to clog up a little bit. So I'll just take it out, rinse it under the tap because it's got thick mud in it, but I'll put the same filter back on the actual filtration system because it's keeping the good bacteria in the tank. We've got probably about 5 new filters, but we've never used the new filters. We keep using the same filter over and over again, and our tanks have had no problem with it. Whereas a lot of people buy lots of filters. They think they need to be clean, but they don't. Not my experience.
Coral Work says, Jeff, you got to try reverse flow under gravel, my dude. It's a whole new world. I've never a reverse flow. I had a regular under gravel filter. That was my very first filter, in fact. A little 10-gallon tank that I had, but I've never tried that. Yeah,
so reverse flow is pushing water from the bottom back up through the gravel in. Because normal gravel filters suck it down, don't they?
Yeah, this is the one out here. He's talking there. I guess people can hear my smoke detectors chirping in the background.
I was just looking at Wee-Wee's comment there.
Yeah. Those are mine, guys. I just
I don't know how he sleeps at night because it's just always good.
You know what? I don't notice it anymore, but I just need to hire an electrician in here, get him moved down where I can deal with him.
Or a sharpshooter.
Yeah. Well, I have the firearms here. But I want to put a hole in my roof.
Kathy, hold my beer.
I thought it was a budgie you had in the background. I thought it was a budgie. I thought you had a budgie regard in the background in a cave somewhere.
Right. I mean, it is really high up though in there. Tara, I showed Tara and her husband when they were over here, and it is a ways up there. And I'm
vaulted ceiling.
I can't climb a ladder, and but I just need to hire either a handy person to come in and do that, and maybe get it moved down. Maybe, and he's saying I could use a pellet gun on it. It wouldn't penetrate the roof. That would be good. But yeah, we'll get that sorted out at some point. So, well, we are gone now. It's been an hour and a half, everybody. I think, I really think we covered a lot of ground, and I think it would be a good time to sign out here. What do you think?
Yeah, thank you so much, Mal and Jeff, for letting us come on your live stream. It's been brilliant.
Yeah, I'm so pleased you come.
Yeah. I'd like to have you back sometime, too, on other subjects, if that's okay.
I love it when other guests come because it gives a bit of variation.
Definitely want to have you back as a guest again. And many others out there in the chat. I would like you all to know that I would love to have each and every one of you on here in the live stream at some point. I know Adele wants to come on here. I will be getting you on here, Adele. I'm just making my way through a list of that have wanted to come on, and you're definitely going to be on there as well, dear. So you just hang tight, and it's going to happen. And the same thing with Nathan. I wouldn't mind. I'd like to have Nathan come on the live stream some point because he's pretty much He's ahead of me when it comes to plants because he's got some really beautiful community tanks set up. And he has all 10 are all planted. Look at this. Well done. Happy not to.
Can I just say, Jeff? Sorry to cut you up there. If anybody needs any promotional videos done free of charge to help their channel get a bigger platform, give us a shout.
And they are great promotional videos.
And he does the good videos.
Thank you so much again for that. I really appreciate it. Oh, yes. Excellent. Nathan said he would like to come on at some point. That'd be great. We will definitely, I'll get with you on Messenger on that, Nathan, and we'll make it happen. And anybody else, if you can leave me a message. If you don't have my email or my Messenger on there, you can leave a comment on any of my videos or anything, and I'll get in touch with you. And if you'd like to come on and talk about fish, plants, or snails, or whatever, anything you'd like to talk about aquarium related, I think that would be a lot of fun. You know, it's always nice having people up here, and it's so great having you on here, Ian and Sarah. That's so nice. And Mal, of course, brilliant, good man, got a sense of humor.
Yeah, just it. I'm a Scotsman, but I've got my England rugby top on because England's playing rugby on Friday in the semi-finals.
Yeah.
Oh, good luck to your team. Good luck to your team there. Wonderful. Thank you so much, everybody. I think we're going to go ahead and end the stream now. It's been very wonderful. Mal, thank you so much again for, being here and, being my right-hand man and taking care of things. You've been
taking care of things. You've done it all, Jeff.
No, I have not. No, don't let him fool you, folks. He is he's the man behind the curtain. He's the one taking care of it.
I'm the Wizard of Oz, eh? I'm the Wizard of Oz.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
I'm the man behind the curtain. Get off, Toto.
He's got it great. So thanks, everybody. Thank you, Ian and Sarah. Thank you, Mal. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
No bother.
Thank you all so very much. We'll see you next week on the aquarium.
Next week.
All right. See you all soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, June.
Bye.
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 Bye-bye.